Today I'm going to share with you the 5 attack strategies that you have to master as a Townhall 9 before you move up to Townhall 10. Each one of these are going to help you develop the skills that you need to do more advanced attacks later on. I don't know how to emphasize this enough, guys, but Townhall 9 is one of the more critical Townhall levels in your entire Clash of Clans career. You get queens, you get golems, you get lava hounds, you get all these different troop variations and possibilities that you never were able to unlock up until this point. And because of this, you have some skills that you need to develop as a Townhall 9. And if you don't, you're going to struggle a whole bunch when you get to the next few levels. So don't rush Townhall 9. I'm encouraging you guys to enjoy it. There is a lot of fun stuff. There is so many different strategies you can use and try out at Townhall 9. It's ridiculous how much actually works. And so I've developed this down into 5 strategies that I think you guys will be able to do. You can use these in war, you can use these in farming, and these will help you develop skills that will help you later on into more advanced attacks. And so, I'm fixing to give you the list in a few seconds. Here are the 5 strategies that you'll need that are going to help you with base identification and help you become a better attacker overall in Clash of Clans. The Queen Walk Pekka Dive is the first attack that I want to show you guys because there is so much skill that you can learn from this attack. This is a great starting point. This should be used when you're doing your farming to develop your queen walk and your queen charges. But this isn't just limited to farming. This is also great at attacks too. You can do a queen walk down one side of the base, or you can do a queen walk and use it to take out the enemy CC like we're seeing in the example right here. And so when I say that there's different kinds of queen walks that you can do, there's what you can do which is called a walk, and then there's what's called a charge. Now, a walk is where you will get your queen and you will try to clean out trash on one side so that she'll be forced to go down the other because she has no other choice but to go that direction. And so it takes a bit of practice to get her to do that. And this is a great attack strategy to learn how to get and control your queen. Because once you get that done, you can put this on so many different kind of attacks. And it'll just becomes a great variety will be opened up to you once you can learn how to use this. Now, the other style is, of course, what they call a charge, where you do the queen on one side, you bring your Pekkas in on the other, they come together, and then it becomes like a Pekka Smash, which is really neat. Now, also in this attack, there's some clan castle or some CC hogs that you can use, or you can use just these hogs that we have here to kind of sneak in the backside, and this preps you for later on when you use something called a Pekka Bowbat. That way you can use this strategy to clean out these different areas. And so you've got the main spot going down the middle, and then you've got the cleanup troops coming from the side. Now, what this evolves into is this evolves into any attack that you want to. Once you get this queen walk skills down or this queen charge skills down, then so many things can open up for you. So it can be used with any attack. 2, you can use this for Pekka Smash later on. You can use this for Pekka Bowbat. You can use this for Falcon. You can use the same skills for Yeti Smash. So this is one I would definitely recommend to anybody to learn how to practice this strategy as much as you can, because this will develop some major skills for you. Now, the Lalo makes this list because it is an attack that you can use from Townhall 9 all the way up to the top levels. In fact, you see a lot of the pro players they'll just use this entirely. And so that's why this is one of the main strategies that you need to learn also. And so why is this pivotal? What are some of the skills that you can learn here? You can learn how to your pathing of your balloons, which is very important. Even if you're you consider yourself a ground tacker, you need to know how to do a good Lalo. Because there's some bases that it's just the best option on. And then there's other situations where if you know how a good Lalo player operates, you can know how you can build a base against it. And so there's some really important skills that you can do. So everyone needs to know how to do a Lalo. Why? Well, why do they need to learn it? One of the things is is that this is a versatile attack. It can be used at different on different kinds of bases. It can be used if you have low-level heroes. And this is something that you should have been practicing the second you became a Townhall 5. And so you need to know loon pathing and how to kill the queen and how to pull the CC, things like that. What does this evolve into? This evolves eventually into your Queen Walk Lalo or your Queen Charge Lalos, which is another pivotal attack, or the Electrone, which later on when you get your clone spell, then you can actually clone the balloons and be able to make like what I call a little nuclear bomb in the middle of a base and eat an area out so you can have better pathing. So this is definitely one that you must know before you move up to Townhall 10. And I'm going to leave this troop comp up here for a little bit in case you want to test this out. This is one that I've used numerous times. I stand behind this one. And as you can see, I got 2 skeleton spells. I use those to take out the queen. The Mass Dragon is another one that is really useful for you to know. Now, you've been using this probably from Townhall 7 and Townhall 8, but once you got to Townhall 9, you started to realize that you can't just do the same things that you were doing before. You have to be a bit more strategic. Now, of course, on the very low-level ones that are pretty much Townhall 8, yeah, you can just zap 2 air defenses and then just mass drag into those. But when you get to more advanced bases, you need more strategies that are going to be built more towards it. And that's where this particular dragon strategy is really nice to know. What can you learn from this dragon strategy? For one, you're going to learn about where to place your dragons. You're going to learn a little bit more about sweeper placement. You're going to learn about how to create a funnel for your dragons. And so if you haven't already mastered that when you were at Townhall 8, then you're definitely going to need to use that here at this level. And so on top of that, what is so good about this also is there are so many different attacks that you'll be using later on that evolve from these Master Dragon attacks. And that's why I had to put at least one dragon attack in here. So for example, at Townhall 10, the Drag Bat, and Townhall 11 and Townhall 12, the Drag Bat is super popular and is really useful. So that's why you need to learn more about the bats, about the dragons and how they move. Queen Walk Mass Dragons is also another one that's really popular and really useful on certain bases. The Electrone Mass Dragons, where you get to the Electro Dragon and a balloon, and once you get to 10, you'll get this clone spell that will enable you to get more out of the single troops, and then all of a sudden you can put off what I call a little nuclear bomb in the middle of a base and create a nice little area that will be a channel for your dragons to go down. And it's also another attack that's pretty popular is the Frozen Dragon, where you bring just a bunch of freeze spells at the Townhall 10 and up, and you can just freeze everything and let the dragons just come across the entire base. And then, of course, another one that is the most popular, although it's Electro Dragons, but you learn a bit about funneling with them when you're using your dragon attacks. And so that's why this is a really important thing to know and to skill. And so that's why I included this on our top 5 attacks that you need to learn. The Goho is the other attack that you really need to learn also. Goho has been around for a really long time, and there's a reason for it, is because it is very versatile, and it is an attack that can be used even when you become a Townhall 8. You should have become more proficient in it, but you can use those skills here at Townhall 9, and those same things go right on up all the way, once again, all the way to Townhall 13, and with the different meta attacks that come in there. Now, what's really good about the Goho is it is an attack that if you do fail, somebody else can replicate it and be able to fix it, and be able to fix maybe 1 or 2 mistakes that you might have made, be able to find the giant bomb spots. And so that's what makes it a really great attack to learn, because it's a good teamwork type of attack that you can have different people. If you do fail, they can be able to correct it and pull in the 3 stars with it. There's a lot of bases that Goho works on. Now, why is this one important? You learn hog pathing. You learn how to kill a queen with your kill squad. Now, what does this evolve into? This can evolve into a queen walk hog attack. This can evolve into the hybrid that you can get later on with the hogs and miners. This also teaches you a little bit about mass hog attacks. All of these are very viable at the next few Town Hall levels, and are even used at Town Hall 13. At 13, they're using these attacks, hogs, so they're not going away anytime soon, and so this is definitely another attack strategy that you need to master. The Witches is the next attack that you need to learn as a Town Hall 9. What's some of the skills that you can learn with the Mass Witch attack? You can learn which base to identify and how to swarm single target defenses. Also, you can learn how to use your jump spells better. More specifically in this attack, what you're going to see is I'm using the Pekka Witch. We have a variation that we use a lot at Town Hall 10 and on up, and so this is a really good attack to learn how to use. Plus, this one evolves into other attacks that are really useful that you'll be using a whole lot later on, such as the Frozen Witch. When you get to Town Hall 10 and up, you use the Witches and some freeze spells. And also, another one is the Pekka Witch, like you're seeing right now. You'll get to see a variation of that. Also, Bat Slap with Witches. You'll see Mass Witches coming across, and then some bats coming around. That's another really great attack to learn how to use, especially when you're up against single target infernos. Basically, if you see a single target inferno base, then Witches are going to be your best friend. Bow Witch, of course, is another one that's really popular at Town Hall 10 and up, and so that's why you need to also get to this, because this is kind of a starter Bow Witch, I guess you could say. And then, of course, once you get to Town Hall 11, one of my favorites at 11 is the 5 Ice Golem. Using 5 Ice Golem and bowlers and witches to go through a base, and it's a really powerful strategy also to have in your back pocket. Hopefully you guys learned something today, and as always, if you could you subscribe to the channel? This really helps me out a lot. And put a comment down below, maybe some things you're looking at. I'm planning on later on breaking down each one of these strategies and going into more depth in them. And so, until next time, we'll see you.